Alright, welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review episode 225. Yeah, I'm reviewing the first episode of the anime adaptation of the spin-off prequel manga My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Yes, the manga that's already over, and kind of good the fact that they decided to adapt this now, because I'm sure people are really anticipating the final season of My Hero Academia, season 8 for the show. So I guess Bone decided, hey, why don't we adapt this prequel manga? Which, basically, this manga does reference some stuff we see in present day, so good on Bones for doing that. Yes, and because of this, basically, we do have a credit here edition for Christopher Sabat reprising his role from All Might for the parent series, and also we hear Justin Brenner playing Deku as a narrator for the series, which that's happened in the first episode. This episode adapts loosely, like a little bit here and there from episode. Basically, it's like chapter 0 of the manga, along with the entirety of pretty much chapter 1 and the first 10 pages of chapter 2. If you're really curious, how long is the My Hero Academia Vigilantes manga? The answer is 126. And this season is set to be lasting about 13 episodes. I'm really hoping for basically more seasons of this because we have, with the final season of My Hero Academia coming out later this year, there probably is still more demand for My Hero Academia. And because we have this Vigilantes anime, I'm hoping that we get more seasons of this. Like, given the length of the manga, you can do about I think mostly can predict this manga can basically take up probably about close to 4 seasons. And that's probably all I can do. I suggest also adapting the light novels and the spin-off series team-ups, because there's more additional stuff for. So in this episode, well, they explain the whole Quarks aspect, something they explained also in the first episode of My Hero, which, fun fact, basically, it's now been, oh my gosh, like, I reviewed the first season of My Hero Academia 7 years ago. Yes, I reviewed this first season when I was 30 years, well, basically I think it was just before I turned 30. That's when I reviewed My Hero Academia, and I've been a fan ever since, and I've met most of the cast. As of right now, before I talk about the episode, here's who I've met who isn't part of the cast of My Hero Academia. I have met All Might himself, Christopher Sabat, Deku, Justin Brenner, Ochaku, Lucy Christian, Froppy, Monica Riel, Kaminari, Kyle Phillips, Earjack, Trina Shimura. I've also met the actress voice Miss Midnight, Alyssa Maxwell, Fat Gum, who's Kyle Herbert, Sugar Man, who is Chris George. I'm trying to think, was anyone else I met with the show? I know Ian St. Clair voices Tail. Tentacruel, so that's 10. I met him a couple years ago in Orlando. I'm trying to think, was anyone else? Oh yeah, Momo, comic click beer actress, just recently this year. Let's see. I met Shudo. Yep, damn much. I met his voice actor. Try to think here. Was anybody else I met? Off the top of my head, that's it. There is one gonna be really soon, and there's the voice Mariko, the Rabbit Hero. Yes, I'm hopefully gonna be her voice actress at Shogi Expo in September. But I'm not gonna bring My Hero Academia for this time. I'm bringing with her because I have a couple of different sources confirmed that she was in this anime. How relative to Makina, where she voiced the lead character. I'm looking forward to her signing this one. So, as the episode itself, so I have to explain the whole Quark aspect and the people who are unlicensed heroes are referred to as vigilantes. And we kind of see pretty much the anime debut of, they don't name yet, this mysterious, big, muscular guy who has brass knuckles. I'll read his name later on. So By the way, for this particular series, for Vigilantes, our lead character we see afterwards witnessing stuff, witnessing this monster appear in the first episode. He is voiced in the anime, which he's voiced by Jack Bobernant. Yep. That is pretty much who voices him in the main anime. And his quirk is, you can basically, it's like, well, it's crawling, so you basically crawl really fast. Here we go. Oh yeah, okay, so there wasn't kind of, I thought it was a whole chapter. No, but they did have most of the chapter. I read about that. So basically, this guy, he starts eating a motorcycle, which is kind of interesting until he gets beaten by All Might. Yeah, this mysterious villain, no one knows who he is. So, and then then we have Koichi basically come across this guy named Soga, who is voiced by Joshua Walters. And him and his group, one is Mayoru, that's his name, who is this big, muscular, chunky guy, who was voiced by Mike Smith. And there is also Rampant, which reminds me of Spinner, based on his appearance. Yeah, he's basically one of those Homuncular ones. He's voiced by Kamen Casey, and he's able to get away thanks to his ability. And then they come across another character who is known as Poppinstep. Poppinstep, her real name is Kazuko Hinayama, and she is voiced by Macy Ann Johnson. Yep, she is a self-proclaimed pop idol who does a lot of singing and wears a very sexy outfit. And she's about the same age as her lead character. And then we see that, that apparently he's late for work. Apparently he's always late for class, and he apparently missed class, and he is late for work. Apparently Dr. Miss Pig is a little bit late. So, then just by sheer coincidence, Soga and his thug just happen to come to the convenience store, and they take him to the back where he gets beaten up, and then later on, of course, he meets up with, he just walks home and be beaten up, and then he just by sheer coincidence, runs into Poppinstop. She gives him a soda, and then Soga returns, and is like, ooh, maybe we're gonna wipe this mask off. And with his actions, it seemed like he was going to kill her or he was going to rape her. Yes, because it seems like he's about to shed her of her clothing. And because All Might's not there, we have the big muscular guy come in. His name is actually going to be Knuckle Duster. That is his name, Knuckle Duster. Where he proceeds to beat the crap out of all three guys. Basically, just punch them, checking their tongues. There is a reason why, because of the drug trigger. That's pretty much the reason for it. And Kenichi is able to take out the leader by basically using his ability to spear him. Yes, spear him. Saving Poppinstop, and then basically, well, it's like, oh, I'm going to take you as a apprentice trained to be a hero. This way, I think he's not even a licensed hero. He is a vigilante. About his code name was Nice Guy, where he proceeds, prior to run to the guys, he basically, pick up someone's phone, pick up trash, very nice person. And so they reveal his real name, Konichi, because we didn't know his name yet. And don't remember the name of the Knuckle Duster yet. By the way, Knuckle Duster, he is voiced by Jason Marokuna. I think that's how he pronounces his last name. Yes. Oh, by the way, we see Fantasy of Endeavor, Genius, Edgeshot, Mariko, President Mike, Midnight. Don't hear their voice per se. Midori is mentioned, but not seen in the episode. So, then of course they just happen to go look for some random people. So you have this trigger, which basically unlocks like particular powers. And then they just happen to come across a guy who just leaving work. And Konichi points out, though, he calls himself the Crawler. The Crawler tells him, he just a guy who just got off work, yeah. And his suitcase has got action figures. And the reason? He works for a toy company. And, of course, Knuckle Duster wants to check his tongue. And then, all of a sudden, a scarf comes out of nowhere, wraps around his hand, and it's a Eraserhead! You're like, oh crap, a pro hero. A pro licensed hero who's here on his day off. End of the episode. Fantastic. Love this episode. And of course, here's the weird thing about this. Now, yes, this episode was released 2 days ago. But I didn't know this until the article came out. The very day it came out. That Crunchyroll is going to be releasing the show, the dub, the same day it gets released in Japan. I'm like, wow! I never thought of that, but that's cool. I love that. At least I'll have to wait. So, I kind of thought, I almost kind of forgot this was coming out basically Monday. Because I thought basically that the Dark Elf anime would be only Monday. But, this is another one. So, 2. At least this one, I have a pretty good idea of how long it's going to be. The Dark Elf anime, I don't have a confirmed episode count for that one. They have not released an episode count. My guess is going to be 12 or 13 episodes. That's my guess anyways. But I love this episode. Yep. Debbie, if you're watching this, please watch the episode. It's really good. Yep. So, yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up we have is a comic corner. And then we're going to call it a night. Because that's all I have to record anyways. Okay? Next video. Bye.